There we go.
Uh, wait.
Don't be scared. I know what it looks like. Don't be scared.
Oh,
Look,
uh,
you're in the lore cave.
uh-huh.
This is an extra dimensional space. I am the Lore Dragon. I summoned you here today to ask you a few questions and give you a chance to share your story with the world. Don't worry. Once we're done, the Yoinker will send you right back to the exact place and time that you were abducted. Invited from. Your memories of this conversation may or may not stick, but we'll figure that out later. So, what do you say, Volts? You down for a little dinner and lore?
Uh, is that salmon? Yes. Yes. I will do anything for salmon.
Great, great. I have heard it was your favorite, so I tried to provide the best for my guests.
Oh, thank you.
As you can see, it does look a little 2D. You see, I have to use this thing called the Omniboard in order to make food because my hands are, well, they're a little too big and meaty to make actual food. So I draw things on the Omniboard and they come to life. So it looks like a drawing, but if you take a bite out of it, it will taste like salmon. So, by all means, enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Oh,
Good, good.
mm, mm.
So, Kat,
It's
is that
great. Yeah.
Kat, your name is that short for Catherine or long for Ka?
So Kat is my full name. It's just Kat.
Oh, okay. That is your full name then. So it is
That's
long
right.
for Ka.
No, no, Kat. No one calls me that. I'm just Kat.
Okay. And that's Kat with a K.
Yeah, that's right, with a K.
Oh,
Because
okay.
with a C, that would be weird. That's like calling yourself human if you're human. You know?
Oh, right. Well, I do call myself Lord Dragon. Well, that's what I call myself anyway. My real name is
Oh,
we won't get into my real name. No one needs to know that. But
oh, no offense. Sorry.
so, but you can just call me Lore. You can just call me Lore.
Lore. Okay. Is it Lord Lore? Do you have a title?
No,
Sir Lore?
no. Lord Lore was my father. See.
Oh, right.
just, just kidding. Uh,
hmm
but we're not here to talk about me. We're not here to talk about me. Today's about you.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
is salmon your favorite because you're a cat, or do you just happen to like salmon? Like, would a dog from your
Um,
homeworld like bones or?
so salmon is my favorite food, regardless. I was a shark for a little bit. We can get into that later. And
Oh,
salmon was still my favorite food then. So yeah, salmon is just my all-time favorite food.
you were a shark at one.
Yep.
How did that happen? Is that a normal thing on your or where you're from?
Yeah, it's pretty normal. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about with that. Okay, so where do I even start? Let's just start at the beginning. So, hi, Lore. You already know my name somehow. I'm Kat Volts. I am from, well, I don't know where we are, but this is complicated.
It's a little bit of everywhere and
Basically,
nowhere at the same time, but continue.
okay. I'm from a ship named the Ingrax, and on that ship, it's from an alternate world line of the world you yoinked me from. Yeah. So, and on that ship, we have these medical stations called the tubes. Yeah. And so they're these giant, I guess they're like plastic. Maybe it's glass. I'm not sure. It's very hard. It's probably glass. Anyway, there's giant tubes you walk into and they close behind you.
Right.
And basically, they're primarily used for healing if you have accidents, which we have lots of accidents.
Oh,
But you can also do cosmetic changes with them. Yeah. And so I got in so much trouble for this. So basically, when I was like, gosh, how old was I? I was like 17, I think. I was 17 when they discovered how to make people into shark hybrids or sharks. That species, I guess, quote unquote, came out when I was 17.
wow. So
And
was that the
so
first one? Like, was that
I
the
wasn't the
first
first.
species? Oh, okay.
No. The cat and wolf came out first, I think. And so my family picked cat as their species, and I think wolf is more common. But anyway, so yeah, and the shark came out when I was 17, and me and my best friend Amy, we decided to, without our parents' permission, we snuck in there and switched to shark overnight. Well, it took like a few days, but
Does it hurt?
yeah. No, you're asleep when it happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The most like disturbing part is that when you're in the tubes, they have to flood the chamber with you inside of like whatever this medical goo is. It's very like warm and tingly, but you fall asleep pretty quickly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then you wake up like a few days later or a few hours. It depends on what you have done. If you're healing from like an injury, it's like a few hours. But for something like changing your species, that takes like a couple of days.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when your name is Cat and you just happen to
Yeah.
choose to be a cat.
I didn't choose. I was born this way.
Oh, okay. Okay, but
I was
you
never human. Yeah.
okay, but you chose to be a shark for a while and now
Yeah.
you're back to being
That's right. Yeah, I
beautiful.
had to switch back for work.
Ah. Oh, I guess it would be pretty hard to live in space whenever you can't breathe on land or in space.
It was mostly like the the sharks don't really fit in the spacesuits we have. So I had to switch back to cat because it's closer to a human shape.
They don't accommodate. They don't accommodate for the finned fellows.
Yeah, tail too thick.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I didn't know that. See, I assumed that you were, or that I guess you said you were born a cat, but I assumed that
Yep.
everyone was born in the species that they wanted to be in your timeline. That's interesting. I'd have to maybe if I pay a visit there, I'll get to try my luck as a oh gosh, what would I even be? So used to being scaled, I don't even know what it would be like to
Uh-huh.
have. I've always wanted to have fur and hair.
Yeah.
I have to wear wigs in order to have hair. Like whenever when I take on my disco transformation, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I still got to take my wig off to go to bed. But I'll give it a try. I'll have to
Mm-hmm.
give that a try when I go to your world sometime. So,
Yeah.
what you said you were from a ship? What was the ship
Mhm.
called?
The Ingrux. Yeah,
Ingrex. Ingrex,
that's
right,
right.
right. And that's not the ship that you broadcast from. This is a
Mm-mm.
different. This is the ship you are from, but not the ship you currently
Yeah,
reside on.
that's right. There was an accident.
An accident.
Well, I call it that. I don't really know what happened, but I assume it was an accident. So
Oh.
I guess to talk about that. Yeah. So I live in Escape Shuttle number 3, or as we mechanics call it, Bastard.
Wow.
Yeah, because that shuttle always like has problems. It's cursed. Anyway, yeah. So I'm a mechanic. I work primarily on the inside of the ship, but I'm trained to work outside in emergencies. So I was servicing the shuttle during a normal day at work, really. And then basically something went wrong and the ship depressurized with me inside of it. And so I passed out and I woke up like a few hours later in the middle of space with no one around me. So yeah, that's how
Oh.
I got here. Well, I mean, in the other world line, not here in your cave.
Right, right. That was a
Yeah,
much more
yeah.
invasive. That was a little more invasive. I apologize, but it's my only way. It's my only way of getting in
Uh-huh.
visitors. You can't exactly just walk
Yeah.
here. You have to be yoink. But I'm glad that you survived. But
Hmm.
I really couldn't say whether or not you ended up in a different world. It seems like when I looked at your timelines, they were very much in both entwined and separate at the same time. It was actually pretty hard to get a hold of you. Harder than
Really?
most. Yeah, absolutely. usually I can just pull people from just any timeline and then just send them right back. But whenever I was trying to calibrate where exactly you were coming from and where exactly you would be going back to, it seemed like you could go there or to your previous timeline. I don't know. We'll see.
Wait, can you send me back to my original world line?
Um, maybe. I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know.
Ah,
But
okay.
I'll have to wait till it's finished calibrating. It probably should be done by the time we're done with dinner.
Okay.
But anyways,
Gosh, uh-huh.
did you say anything about family? Like whenever you were on the Ingrex, did you leave any family behind after your accident? Anyone who's missing you?
Yeah. So I have my mother and father live on the Ingrex. My dad is one of the head engineers, so I work with him a lot actually. He's actually one of the original architects of the Ingrex. So he was born on Earth, and so was my mom. Both my parents were born on Earth, and they gave up their humanity. I guess we're still like debating about that back home, but yeah. So I have mother and father still.
Okay, and so I imagine they might be missing you right now. Or I guess they wouldn't even know if you're in a different timeline. They wouldn't even know that you're gone unless it depends on whether or not the timelines are moving forward at the same pace, or if you return back. Do you return back to the moment that you were that the accident happened? I don't know. I guess
I don't know either.
we'll find out soon.
Mhm.
So on your home, on the Ingrex, you said they gave up their humanity, or potentially gave up their humanity. Is there a reason that you guys left Earth? Is there some reason that you're on the Ingrex?
Mm, it's not a good story, but we can talk about it.
We don't have to if you don't
Um,
want to. I mean, I don't want to make you reveal anything or talk about anything that makes you uncomfortable.
mm, gosh, I know why they left. Well, there was a few reasons why, but there was one big reason that they left. But I do, unfortunately, I think that's a story for another time.
That's fine. That's fine. We can talk about it. Anything else? Like for instance, who's that little guy that's like following you around? I know I yoinked one person, but who's that?
Oh, I was holding him when you yoinked me, so
Oh,
um yeah. So this is my pet robot Bit. Yeah. He's my friend, I guess. And one of the last few things I have from back home. Um yeah. I was actually gonna talk about him today on stream before you yoinked me. Or maybe I'm still gonna talk about it. I don't know how this works.
well, it could be both. It could be both. I think
Mhm.
since you were broadcasting already, whenever I started broadcasting from the lore cave, I imagine they should be able to see what your audience should be able to see, whatever we're talking about right now. So, by all means, tell your story before I rudely interrupted you.
Okay. So this goes back to I was probably like 8 years old or something, and you have a lot of free time when you're a kind of a kid on the Index. There's not much you can really do to help. So a lot of us study. So we have classes and education and such. But this was on like one of my days off. I was in the archive, and so this archive is kind of like it's this huge hall in the room in the Ingrex. It's like 2 or 3 stories tall. I think it's 3 stories actually. I've never been to the top. But and so basically you have like this big open area in the middle, and there's a giant like column in the center full of books, and there's computer terminals everywhere. It's lots of stuff like information about old my Earth, I guess. And so I was there one day on one of the terminals, and I was just watching some of the old media we have. I was looking at cat pictures, okay?
Well, I mean, what else?
Yeah, and I'm like, I really want a pet. And unfortunately, I mean, other than us, there's no animals or
Where did that
what
come
was
from?
that?
I think that was my. I think that was the yoink. It's starting to calibrate. Where's it coming
Oh,
from? One sec.
uh-huh.
That's what, like I said earlier, the timelines are starting to merge. I don't know how to get it to stop. Ah. 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 I don't know where it's coming from. I actually can't see the sound alert, maybe. You hear that on the... Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Probably. It's okay. Stuff
I
happens.
have no idea where it's coming from. It is definitely coming like from the stream though. Hey.